Beneath the chrome, behind the thunder, and under every patch of American pride lies a truth most riders never face. Harley-Davidson isn't just a motorcycle, it's a commitment carved in steel, leather, and sacrifice. It's freedom on two wheels, but it comes with a price tag that can't be measured in dollars alone. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. 16 brutal truths every Harley rider should know, but most never will. Some will sting. Some will challenge what you thought you knew about the bike beneath you. And the final one? It might change the way you see Harley-Davidson forever. So, buckle in, because number 2 cuts deeper than you'd ever expect. And once you hear it, you'll never look at your Harley the same again. Number 16. The weight of the beast. The first truth every Harley rider eventually learns isn't about engines or chrome. It's about gravity. On paper, the numbers look impressive. 800 pounds of American steel, a frame built to conquer highways, and a stance that commands respect. But the weight that looks powerful in the showroom feels very different when the pavement tilts against you. New riders discover it the hard way. A slow-speed tip in a parking lot, a sudden stop on gravel, a strained back trying to lift what feels like an anchor disguised as freedom. Touring models like the Road Glide and Electra Glide carry their mass like freight trains, and even the lightweights in the Harley lineup demand muscle and balance. That heft gives stability on the open road, but off it, it's unforgiving. It humbles riders who thought they were strong enough, and it reminds everyone that pride weighs more than steel. Because when a Harley falls, it doesn't just hit the ground. It hits your ego, your wallet, and your back, all at once. Number 15. The heat you can't escape. Every Harley rider knows the sound of summer, the idle growl, the ticking exhaust, and the slow burn that crawls up your legs at the stoplight. What the brochures don't say is that Harley's big twin engines are ovens dressed in chrome. They breathe air, not mercy. In city traffic, the temperature climbs until the tank radiates like a stove and the oil sizzles in protest. Riders shift their weight, stretch their knees, anything to find relief. The Milwaukee 8 and the newer glides promise better heat management. But when the air stands still, the fire still wins. Some bolt on fans, heat shields, or ceramic coatings. Others learn the rhythm, ride fast when the road's open, shut down when it's not. But no accessory can rewrite physics. Big displacement means big combustion, and that means big heat. It's a test every rider faces, and one most won't admit beats them. Because out there, sweating through leather and grit, complaining feels like weakness. The heat becomes a badge of honor, a burn you earn mile by mile. And yet, for every flame that roasts the skin, another truth waits, one that seeps into the bones themselves. Number 14. The vibration tax. Every Harley rider falls in love with the rumble first. That rhythmic shake that makes the mirrors blur, the bars dance, and your heart beat in time with the engine. It's the pulse of rebellion, the sound of freedom made mechanical. But that same heartbeat comes with a hidden bill. After a few hundred miles, the charm fades and the tax begins. Hands tingle, shoulders tighten, and your spine starts to echo every pulse of the crankshaft. It's not just movement, it's endurance training disguised as joy. Rubber mounts, counterbalancers, and redesigned frames softened the blow, but never silenced it. Because without the vibration, it wouldn't feel like a Harley. That raw tremor is part of the brand's DNA. The living proof that this machine isn't built to purr, it's built to growl. Old-timers shrug it off, they call it character. But newcomers soon learn the truth, that every ride demands a little bit of muscle, a little bit of pain, and a lot of tolerance. The vibration is the heartbeat of the legend, and the toll it takes is the price of belonging. And if that rhythm doesn't wear you down, the next truth might. It waits at the first sharp turn. Number 13. The cornering trap. Every Harley rider remembers their first real lean, that moment when pride meets pavement and instinct fights gravity. The bike tilts, the floorboard scrapes, and for a split second, your heart stops. Then you realize that spark you just made wasn't magic, it was metal. Harleys are built for the open road, for highways that stretch forever. But in the twist and curve, their heritage shows its limits. Low-slung frames and wide floorboards make for comfort and style until the asphalt demands more clearance than you've got. Push too hard, and the boards bite back, throwing sparks and warnings in equal measure. It's not fear that keeps riders upright. It's respect. Respect for the physics that no badge can outshine, and for the heavy truth that some lines simply can't be carved. Veterans learn to flow with it, slowing before the bend, gliding through the apex, rolling the throttle like a promise. Newcomers? They learn the hard way, with a few scratches and a bruised ego. Because every Harley leans differently, and every curve reminds you that rebellion might ride fast, but it also scrapes deep. And if the corners test your courage, the next truth tests your wallet. Number 12. The maintenance trap. Owning a Harley feels like owning a piece of living history until the first service bill arrives. Freedom, it turns out, comes with a schedule. And Harley's version of freedom doesn't tolerate neglect. Oil changes, primary fluid, transmission service, each with its own interval, each with its own price tag. Miss one, and that deep, proud rumble can turn into a rattle that costs thousands. Touring riders know it best. The heavier the bike, the faster the wear. Tires go in 10,000 miles, brakes follow not far behind. The belt drive hums like loyalty until it doesn't. Dealers call it routine maintenance. Riders call it the trap. Because once you start, you never stop. Every season brings another must-do, another invoice, another justification to keep the legend alive. Some wrench at home, trading cash for time. Others trust the dealer and hand over the card without flinching. Either way, it's the same story. The road takes, the Harley demands, and the rider pays. Not in regret, not even in anger, but in understanding. Because deep down, every Harley owner knows keeping the dream alive costs more than money. And that dream gets even pricier when the upgrades begin. Number 11. The upgrade addiction. It always starts small, maybe a louder exhaust, a sleeker seat, a better air cleaner. Just a little personality, you tell yourself. But soon enough, you've memorized the catalog. You know every stage upgrade by name, and your garage looks more like a Harley parts department than a home. That's the truth nobody warns you about. The addiction doesn't come from the ride. It comes from the tinkering, the need to make it louder, faster, stronger, more yours. The factory bike was only the beginning. A stage 1 turns into stage 2. Cams, tuners, and pipes blur the line between customization and obsession. Each improvement brings a thrill, until you check the receipts. Thousands vanish faster than the miles roll up. Harley riders joke about the Harley tax, but it's no joke at all. The company knows exactly what it's doing. The motorcycles leave the factory restrained, begging for those upgrades, and riders happily oblige. Because in the Harley world, perfection isn't bought once. It's built, piece by piece, dollar by dollar, and sometimes, mistake by mistake. And just when you think your bike finally sounds right, the next truth reminds you someone else might hear it too. Number 10. The sound of trouble. To most Harley riders, sound is identity. That low, throaty rumble isn't noise, it's music. It's the heartbeat of rebellion that echoes through every tunnel and turns heads at every stoplight. But what feels like freedom to the rider often sounds like trouble to everyone else, especially the law. Across the country, noise ordinances tighten like a noose around that signature roar. Police in dozens of states now carry decibel meters, and fines climb higher with every year. Those straight pipes that announce your arrival? They can also announce a ticket before you finish the ride. It's a strange contradiction. Harley sells silence to meet regulations, then sells performance kits to bring the thunder back. Riders pay to be loud, and sometimes pay again to stay legal. Yet even with the risk, most refuse to quiet down, because a silent Harley feels wrong, like a ghost of what it once was. So, they take the risk, they twist the throttle, and they let the pipes sing anyway. Because the sound isn't just noise, it's defiance. And defiance has always been part of the Harley code. But while the law might hear you coming, the next truth proves someone else is listening too. Number 9. The price of protection. Freedom on two wheels doesn't come cheap, and nowhere is that clearer than when the insurance bill hits. Harley-Davidson riders carry more than just chrome. They carry a reputation for power, speed, and sometimes recklessness. And the insurance companies know it. Premiums climb higher than many expect. Touring bikes cost more to repair. Custom parts raise replacement costs, and theft rates for Harley models stay stubbornly near the top of the charts. Some riders pay more to insure their bike than their car, a truth few mention when bragging about torque and horsepower. Then there's the trap inside the trap, those custom parts you spent months installing. Many policies won't fully cover them unless you list every modification and pay extra. One accident, one slide, and you could watch thousands of dollars in upgrades vanish. Still, most pay the price without hesitation. Because the Harley life isn't about playing it safe. It's about being prepared when things go wrong. Insurance isn't just paperwork. It's a quiet acknowledgement that freedom has risks, and every ride could test that balance between control and chaos. And speaking of chaos, the next truth is about those who will take your Harley without even asking. Number 8. The theft epidemic. A Harley doesn't just turn heads, it turns temptation into action. Across cities and small towns alike, Harleys vanish faster than any other big cruiser on the road. To thieves, they're trophies. To owners, they're heartbreak. The problem isn't just value, it's demand. A single stolen Harley can be stripped for parts in hours, its V-on ground away, its frame chopped and scattered across a dozen online listings. Custom exhausts, seats, and bars fetch quick money, and tracking them down becomes nearly impossible. Even alarms and locks don't stop the determined ones. Flatbed trucks, inside jobs, and fake buyers with trailers. Every Harley rider knows someone who's lost one. And the pain cuts deep, because these bikes aren't just machines. They're personal, built with time, pride, and money that can't be replaced. Some riders add GPS trackers or chain their bikes like prisoners. Others rely on insurance and a bit of luck. But the truth remains. Owning a Harley means guarding it like it's gold. Because to a thief, it is. And even if you keep it safe, there's another price waiting. One that hides beneath the very tires that carry your freedom. Number 7. The tire bill. Nobody mentions. Every Harley rider dreams of the open road, endless miles, perfect asphalt, and that steady hum beneath their boots. But what no one mentions is how quickly those miles eat through the rubber that keeps you there. Touring tires, built to carry nearly 900 pounds of steel, wear down faster than most expect. 10,000 miles if you're lucky, sometimes less. Each set costs hundreds, and that's before mounting, balancing, or labor. Rear tires, punished by torque and load, go first. Then the front follows. It's a cycle as steady as the ride itself. Roll, wear, replace, repeat. And you can't cut corners. Cheap tires mean poor grip. Poor grip means one mistake away from disaster. Every Harley rider learns that lesson once, and never twice. Veterans talk about it casually, as if burning through rubber is a badge of honor. But deep down, they all feel that sting when another fresh tread turns to dust. Freedom leaves marks, and they're measured in tread depth because in the end, the road always takes its share, and it never gives back. And once the tires are gone, the next truth hits even harder. The moment you try to sell what's left. Number 6. The resale reality. Every Harley feels timeless when it's new. That shine, that rumble, that promise that this one will last forever. But the marketplace doesn't care about promises. It cares about mileage, model year, and demand. And sooner or later, every Harley rider faces the same cold awakening. The resale reality. You roll your bike onto the lot or post it online, expecting loyalty to hold value. After all, it's a Harley. It's American steel. But buyers scroll past your pride like it's just another listing. 40,000 miles, they flinch. Custom paint? They see risk, not art. And all those expensive upgrades, the pipes, the seat, the tuning, they rarely add a dime. Some models hold steady, but most slide faster than their owners expect. The myth that a Harley always keeps its value sounds good in bars and forums, but it fades fast when the offers come in low. Still, riders keep buying, keep believing, because a Harley's worth can't be measured in Blue Book numbers, only in memories. But for those who count every dollar, the next truth burns even brighter. Because the more technology Harley adds, the more complicated the ride becomes. Number 5. The tech paradox. For decades, Harley riders wore simplicity like armor. A wrench, a map, and a full tank. That was all you needed to chase the horizon. But modern Harleys are different. They've evolved. Big touchscreens, cornering ABS, traction control, Bluetooth, and digital ride modes. The kind of tech once found only in luxury cars. It's impressive, no doubt. Safer, smoother, more connected. But every new wire and sensor comes with a cost, complexity. What was once fixed with a socket wrench now demands diagnostic tools and dealership software. A dead battery no longer means a quick swap. It can mean error codes and resets that only a technician can clear. For some riders, that's progress. For others, it feels like betrayal, a trade of grit for gadgets, of simplicity for sophistication. The Harley that once spoke through vibration now speaks through warning lights. It's the paradox of evolution. Comfort grows, but independence shrinks. And while the tech may save you from a slide, it also chains you to the service desk. Because with every upgrade in intelligence, the soul of the machine grows quieter. And for many riders, that silence feels louder than any roar. Number 4. The fairing divide. Every Harley rider eventually picks a side, batwing or shark nose. To outsiders, it sounds like a debate about looks. To riders, it's identity. The street glides batwing fairing, mounted to the forks, moves with every turn, a wall of wind and style. The road glides shark nose fairing, bolted to the frame, stays steady, cutting through the air like a blade. Both carry the same heart, but the soul? Completely different. The first time you ride each, you feel it. The street glide feels alive, dancing with your movements, pulling slightly with every lean. The road glide feels calmer, planted like it's reading the highway before you do. Neither is better. They're philosophies on wheels. Harley doesn't sell motorcycles, it sells tribes. Entire friendships form and rivalries spark over which fairing rules the road. The choice says who you are, showman or purist, flair or focus. But the divide runs deeper than design. It's about belonging, about declaring where you stand in the Brotherhood. Because on a Harley, even your wind protection is a statement. And while that divide separates riders, the next truth reveals what unites them. A bond stronger than steel, yet heavier than expectation. Number 3. The Brotherhood and the burden. Every Harley rider knows it. The wave, the nod, the unspoken bond that connects strangers on the open road. It's more than a gesture. It's a brotherhood, forged in exhaust and asphalt, bound by a shared faith in American steel. When you ride a Harley, you don't just join a brand, you join a tribe. The Brotherhood is real. It's roadside help at midnight, a stranger offering tools, or a convoy slowing down so no one gets left behind. It's pride, loyalty, and belonging. But beneath that pride lies pressure, because the same community that lifts you up can turn cold when you don't fit the mold. Ride a different brand, pick a smaller model, or show up stock when others roar with mods, and the nods fade. It's the double edge of identity. Brotherhood brings unity, but also expectation. To ride Harley is to wear the colors of tradition, and tradition doesn't change easily. Still, for all its weight, riders stay, because the Brotherhood gives more than it takes: purpose, pride, and a family found only on the road. But every family depends on something bigger, and the next truth reveals who really holds the keys to that freedom. Number 2. The dealer dependence. Harley riders love to talk about freedom: open roads, endless miles, no limits. But there's one chain most don't notice until it's too tight to break: the dealership. The truth is, Harley's network is both a blessing and a leash. With hundreds of dealerships across the country, parts and service are always within reach. Break down in the middle of nowhere, and chances are a Harley tech isn't far. It's security, a safety net most riders appreciate, until they realize how dependent they've become. Modern bikes, packed with electronics and proprietary software, make home repairs harder than ever. You can't tune your own ECU without Harley's tools. You can't flash a new map without their approval. Even basic service schedules nudge you back toward the counter. Every oil change, every diagnostic, every mandatory update, it all leads back to the dealership, and every visit comes with a bill. Riders joke that Harley stands for 100 and lots repaired yearly, but behind the humor sits truth. The dealer keeps the legend alive, but it also keeps it owned. And that leads us to the final and hardest truth, one that separates the myth from the man behind the bars. Number 1. The legend versus reality. Every Harley rider begins with a dream: the wind in their face, the thunder beneath them, and the promise of freedom that no cage could ever match. It's the legend, the story told for generations. Harley Davidson, the heartbeat of America. But behind the myth lies the truth every rider eventually meets: the reality. A Harley doesn't handle like a sport bike. It doesn't ride cheap, run cool, or age gently. It demands more money, more muscle, and more patience than most expect. It shakes, it leaks, it burns. And yet, people still fall in love. Because the legend isn't built on perfection. It's built on endurance. The real power of a Harley isn't in its horsepower. It's in the people who refuse to quit riding it. Through heat, weight, noise, and cost, they stay loyal. Not because it's easy, but because it's theirs. That's the brutal truth. Harley Davidson isn't freedom handed to you. It's freedom earned. And for every rider who's ever twisted that throttle and felt the world disappear behind them, the legend lives on. Because perfection fades, but pride, sound, and soul, they never die. Those were the 16 brutal truths every Harley rider should know, but most never will. If even one of them hit close to home, you already understand what it means to live this life. Because Harley Davidson isn't just a machine. It's a commitment written in oil, sweat, and pride. And the road doesn't forgive the unprepared. So if you want more stories built from the pavement up, subscribe, stay locked in, and keep the throttle open. The next ride always has another truth waiting.